And a good morning to you. Welcome inside the bottom line. Lanny Ford along with you here on a rainy hump day Wednesday. Going to rain probably about lunchtime. Yucky out there this morning. It's wet, warm. Not my two kinds of things right there. Let me run down basketball playoff action from last night. Then we'll catch Juju. Then I got Bill Bender coming up in just a few minutes. About 8:20 or so. So let me go ahead and run in these basketball scores from last night. I'll give you everything we got for the area. This is in the 2A women's. It was Lincoln Charter over RS Central 73-61. Newton Conover over Owen 64-32. Newton Conover will take on Wheatmore. Lincoln Charter will take on TW Andrews. It was North Surrey over Bunker Hill 61-42 and Southwestern Randolph over Bandy's 49-38. In the 3A women's playoff, it was Ashbrook over Fred T. Ford 76-61. East Lincoln defeated West Henderson 59-38. It was Hickory falling to Inca 57-63. St. Stephen's girls fell to Ashe County 59-45. In the 1A men's playoff action from around, it was Swain County over Cherryville. They hit the century mark. It was 100-78. In the 2A men's, Hendersonville over Lincoln 78-58. Walkertown over Maiden 73-56. And Lincoln Charter over West Stanley 85-46. In the 3A ranks, it was Hickory over East Henderson, 66-27. They'll face North Iredell at home on Thursday night. They're on their way to a showdown on Saturday with West Charlotte, another basketball power out of the Charlotte area. North Lincoln, their boys defeated Ashboro 51-68. They'll play at Freedom. East Lincoln boys defeated West Rowan 65-55. They'll play at Inca. And St. Stephen's, a 23-10, defeated Parkwood 60-57. They'll play at Franklin. So that's the area basketball scores from last night. We just got that underway. So they'll play again Thursday. They'll play again on Saturday. This is a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. No, Richie. West Lincoln teams, neither one made the playoffs. And, of course, they did break that bazillion game losing streak. They were up in the 80s or something. They did break that streak, but neither team. Teams that made it out of locally here in Lincoln County was Lincoln Charter made it, and it was Lincoln and Maiden. They both lost in the first round. Lincoln Charter won, and then East Lincoln and North Lincoln are still alive from the local area. You get in some of the Talbot County schools as well. Let me do this. Let me head on over and get Juju on, talk to him this morning, and then come back. We'll take a break. Then we'll have Bill Bender, and we'll pick up a few comments and stuff just a little bit later on. And welcome back to the bottom line. Lanny Ford along with you here this morning. Juju Phillips on the phone with us. It is nasty out there this morning, my friend, and I think it's going to hang around till around noon, but it is definitely a different rainy day for today.
Well, it used to be rainy day and Mondays, right? Now it's rainy day and Wednesdays. Days.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and probably Thursday too.
Yeah. That's okay, Lanny. I guess we needed some of the rain, but it's not supposed to be an all-day heavy rain. It's supposed to be in and out of here by, as you said, lunchtime.
But you know the bad part about it, this is the week that spring sports were kind of getting kicked off, and that's not the way you start backing up on those outside softball and baseball games. Unless
you have artificial turf, which, Lenore Ryan does, and they have a game today at home, and I'm guessing they're probably going to play between the raindrops as they're set to host a team from West Virginia, Bluefield State. And the Bears are having a wonderful season. They're 12-1, Lanny, and the rankings are expected to come out, the NCAA Division II national rankings this week. And I would expect LR to not only get some consideration for the top 25, but also maybe even get in the top 25 for the first time in, what is the saying, a month of Sundays? Something like that. It's been a long time. The Bears have won 9 in a row. They have 8 of their next 9 games at home. They're off to their best start in 60 years and have a chance with a couple of more wins today and then this weekend to get off to their best start in school history.
Wow.
So baseball is started for the Bears. Wingate is in the South Atlantic Conference with LR. They're number 1 ranked, defending national champions, and they're undefeated so far this year. So college baseball is off, but you're right. High school baseball is going to have to take a back seat to Mother Nature starting today.
You know, I wasn't aware, and I probably knew it and forgot it, that Wingate won the national championship last year.
Yeah, and you know the World Series is played in Raleigh, and so yeah, Wingate came back. I believe they won the South Atlantic Conference championship in terms of the tournament championship. They weren't regular season champs. They won the tournament championship, got into the NCAA tournament, and made a run on it, and winning their first ever national championship. But they were almost an underdog story, and that the SAC is a very good baseball league. Well, Catawba is very good. They're nationally ranked year in and year out. They're coached by a Catawba County native for them. Newberry is very good, and Tusculum is very good, and they're usually nationally ranked. So just like in football, baseball is very good, and they got a defending national champion in Wingate coming in, and the Bears are picked to finish, I believe, 5th in the league this year, and that's the highest they've been picked in, again, quite a long time. So it could be a good season, a special season for LR baseball. We'll have to wait and see. But they're getting some games in, and they're going to get one in today, I'm guessing, Lanny, in between the raindrops. How
many teams inside the SAC, Juju?
That regularly now, I think there are 12.
Okay, so 5th is pretty good. You're up in the top half. That's what you're looking for, and then you can kind of work your way from there.
Yeah, and I believe they finished 6th last year, but they had a winning record. They're going for another winning record this year. I think it's been 22 years since LR's had 3 straight winning seasons in baseball. So they're getting the baseball program turned around definitely under head coach Chris Ramirez, now in his 3rd season. And maybe they can start getting some national recognition and moving up in the South Atlantic Conference Championship, because they haven't won a SAC title at anything in either a conference tournament or a conference championship in over 20 years.
Wow, that would be awesome. You know, high school basketball got underway last night. Hickory girls took one on the chin. They were beaten. Let me go here and see if I can find it. They were beaten by Inca. Kind of a surprise. They got beat 63-57. But the Hickory boys, East Henderson didn't show up, 66-27.
Well, Hickory's the number 1 seed in the West in 3A. East Henderson was the 32nd seed. So it was 1 versus 32, and you'd have to guess it would be a very lopsided affair. Turned out to be that. Hickory is 26-1, and one of the favorites maybe to get back to the state championship game. They got another home game coming up on Thursday, and if they win that, I believe they play, one of the Iredell County schools. Is that right?
They play North Iredell. Yeah, that's a conference rematch there.
Yeah, it sure is. And if they happen to win that, they more than likely will host West Charlotte coming up on Saturday. But, you know, a couple of other local schools won last night, Lanny. St. Stephen's boys won, I believe, and so did East Lincoln.
60-57 on that St. Stephen's, and they beat Parkwood. That's a 23-10, and East Lincoln defeated West Rowan 65-55. They'll travel to Inca. East Lincoln will. In the boys' action. Some of the other teams, I'd given these out earlier, Lincoln Charter won on the girls' side. Newton Conover won big, 64-35. It was Bunker Hill fell and Bandy's fell, so both those Catawba County teams got eliminated. Also, Fred T. Ford's women got eliminated as well. East Lincoln's women did win. Let's see what else. St. Stephen's women fell last night. Let's see. Lincoln lost, Maiden lost. Lincoln Charter did win on the men's side. And then, as we say, we covered the 3A there pretty good. You got anything on Lenore Ryan's softball program for this season?
Well, they're having a really good year under veteran head coach Sheena Holler, Lanny. They've won, I believe, 8 or 9 in a row. And recently, their head coach, Sheena Holler, who's an Alexander County native, and has never had a losing season in softball. She's now in her 23rd year at LR, never had a losing season, which is very impressive. Won her 900th career game over the weekend. And that has put her in the top 10 of active Division II softball coaches with most career wins and winning percentage. I think she has won 70 or 71% of her games as a head coach at LR. Just one of the best. She is one of the best Division II and maybe one of the best softball coaches in the nation. Happens to reside right around here in the Catawba Valley area. But congratulations to her. It says something that you're able to. I think she was here when they did the slow pitch, and then when they transitioned into fast pitch, she was able to change all of that. And again, to be at one place in softball and never have a losing season is quite impressive. And they're off to a good start this year. They've won 8 or 9 in a row.
Did I not see, and I don't know where I saw this, you may have shared it, has she won 600, 900, 400, something? It was an astronomical number of games that she's won in a career.
Oh, yeah, 900.
900, okay. I knew it was 100, it was a 400, 600, 900 something, which I thought that was absolutely amazing, but the tenure that she's had there, but that's still quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, and she's again in the top 10 in active coaches with over 901 wins, I think now, maybe 902. But anyway, she is one of the most successful slope or fast pitch softball coaches, Division I, Division II in the nation. Now there's some out there, Landy, that won over 1,000 games and they're still coaching. Sheena's only been there for 22, 23 years, and again, it's a remarkable accomplishment for women's softball at LR. They got a very top-notch program and have had that way for a number of years.
You know, looking at some NFL headlines that I see, you know, when I look at what's going on, the Deshaun Watson thing is coming up again. And now that the season's over, but a judge has ruled that Deshaun Watson can be questioned under oath in the 9 civil cases. You know, there's probably a lot of moving pieces inside the NFL that are waiting to see what happens and what, if any, sanctions come down on Deshaun Watson from the NFL, because they have their own rules. It's the NFL has its own country and their own, you know, dictator in Roger Goodell, and he can decide what he wants to. But a judge ruled on Monday that he can face questions under oath in at least some of the 22 civil cases that were filed against him. There's no criminal charges, I don't think, that's still out there. I think it's all civil now, which we're talking about money. Now, the district attorney says they'll likely decide by April 1st whether he'll be charged criminally, but I can't imagine they would charge him now after it's waited so long.
No, I don't think they are. I think it's, again,
As he said, she said.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to come down to. I think if you're an NFL team and you're looking maybe to trade for Deshaun Watson, you got to do your background in terms of what kind of character does he have, or what caused him to do whatever he did and have all these women accuse him of what he's supposed to or allegedly have done. You got to really make sure and cross all your, check everything, that if you trade for this guy and give up the farm to do it, what kind of man and what kind of football player are you going to be getting? Now,
let me ask you this, because here's the part that bothers me, okay? And this is from the article that came down. The court ruled Monday that he could be questioned under oath on allegations relating to 9 of the pending civil cases. None of the women involved in those 9 cases have filed a criminal complaint, and all of them have already provided depositions of their own in the ongoing civil case. If I feel like I have been wrong to that level, why would I not be pursuing criminal charges?
I don't think there were ever any criminal charges being pursued from the get-go.
But you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm missing something here. If what he did was so wrong, why is it not a criminal matter? Why are you looking for money?
Because that's, as a society, that's what we do.
Well, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
That's just, I mean, if he did something wrong, he needs to be punished. And I'm completely fine with that. But at the same time, if you're doing this for money, you're doing some almost unrecoverable damage. I'll get that word out anyway.
Irrevocable.
Thank you. That was it. That was one I was looking for.
You are, Lanny, and again, it seems like it's a complicated case, and everybody's got their hand in it and seeing what's happening, and it seems like nothing has happened for well over a year.
Yeah.
And you think something's going to be resolved between now and the start of the next football season. I got a feeling that maybe something will happen with him in and around the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just I'm bothered by that, and then I just know that Goodell's going to come down with something else, and here this guy's already missed a season.
Yeah, he could do that. I mean, he might suspend him for 4 games or something like that. But why hasn't he done it yet?
That's my whole thing. I mean, that you're just kind of rubbing salt in the wound. What else you got going on, my friend?
I mean, that is about it, Lanny. It's been this is one of the transitional times of the year, right? We go from football to coming up, he's still got more football news with, as I mentioned online, the United States Football League, the USFL, is returning, kind of a rebirth. They had their draft last night. They continue it today. I would expect to hear and see some local players getting drafted out of the college ranks in the USFL, and then the NFL Combine begins next week. So we're not out of the woods with football news, certainly not over here the next couple of weeks, and then spring football starts. It's right around the corner in March as well. And
you saw about 50% of the athletes that's been invited to the Combine may boycott it because of the COVID restrictions and stuff they're wanting to place on them. Yeah, and I've read some things that now that the NFL's coming back and they're going to ease some of those restrictions. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit of a change there, but they're going to try to get back to as much normalcy as possible. Well, here's the deal. You will make decisions based on how much push you get from whichever side. That's right. There's nobody that's got a hard stance on anything. The dollars will dictate what you do. Kind of like this mask story that we're hearing about, all these schools now dropping the mask mandates. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. This is the thing that so many people are saying. It's always been your option. It's always been what you wanted to do. Yeah. So it's not like you can't wear one. It's kind of left up to you. But, hey, it's a rough world we live in. I appreciate your time, my friend, and look forward to getting you back in here next Monday night. And always good to have you in studio. Thanks, Lanny. As always, you have a great day and a great rest of the week. Thank you, my friend. We'll take a short time out and be back with more here on The Bottom Line.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. And welcome back. Glad to have you here on my headphones turned down. I wasn't even sure I was there. Glad to have you back here on a rainy Wednesday. We'll go to our phones, bring our guest on. Catch him on Sporting News. Bill Bender, good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. We got yucky weather here in North Carolina. Of course, that's kind of what wintertime is, rain and bad temperatures. But we'll take what we got. Let me start out. Give me your take on the fiasco of Michigan and Wisconsin with Juwan Howard.
Well, I mean, it could have been avoided. I mean, I don't think losing the handshake line is the way to, avoid that. But, cooler heads could have prevailed. There's a lot of things Juwan Howard shouldn't have done. I mean, if he hits a student athlete, he's fired, right?
Yeah.
So, because I was an assistant, my knee-jerk reaction was – what they ended up doing was, you got to suspend him for the rest of the season and go from there. So I'm sure if something else like that happens, he will be fired. They're not going to drag it out. But, just one of those situations that could be avoided pretty easily if cooler heads would prevail.
Did they do enough? Did they do too much? Or are you good with the punishment?
No, I'm good with it. I think – had it been like 2 games, you'd be like, man, that's not enough. Had they fired him, because one of the things I thought about is if that was an NBA game and coaches were doing that, I think we would have moved on pretty quickly. It's because it was a college game. It was because it was, in the handshake line, and now people are making a big deal about that. I thought Tom Izzo had a great response about that, Lanny. I mean, if you can't shake someone's hand after a game, and you can't show that class, then I don't know that you belong on the court.
That's not the way to fix things. You don't avoid them because you're thinking that's the way you fix it. You got to be an adult about it.
Exactly, and I think that's exactly the same way I feel about it. So we'll see where it goes from here. I didn't find the Wisconsin coach at fault with anything. I know some people were saying, well, he escalated it by grabbing him. Nah, he just confronted him. We've all been in those situations. So very interesting, though. Definitely livened up the weekend.
Yes, it did. Here's another story that's kind of out there just a little bit, and maybe there's nothing to it. Coach Mike Krzyzewski had to leave early on a game because he said it was based on exhaustion. Do you think he's maybe pushed this a little too far trying to stay around? He's had some health issues.
He has in the past, and I mean, obviously, health comes first. But I mean, he's a guy. I think after this tournament run, we're going to celebrate his career. We've been doing it all year. I mean, it's been a wonderful coaching career, and hopefully that his health allows for him to finish this off. He's got a pretty good team. So we'll see how it goes down the stretch for the Blue Devils. But they obviously are the best team in surprisingly weak ACC this season.
You know, it's really, we talked about that earlier. How many teams do you see getting in from the ACC?
Well, I mean, Duke's the only sure thing, and whoever wins the conference championship, if Duke wins the ACC tournament, they'll be in. And I mean, everybody from Notre Dame. I mean, I do our weekly tournament projections, and everybody ranking from Notre Dame through, I guess Virginia's off the bubble right now, but Notre Dame through North Carolina, Miami, Wake Forest, they're not sure things. It's crazy to me that this conference that's been so good for so many years only really has one or two sure things in the tournament right now.
Is it just a down year for the Tar Heels, or could it be more related to maybe Hubie's not the right coach?
Well, I think it's early for that, but never too early at North Carolina. Transition from Roy Williams to that, and Hubert Davis is a guy that, he's taking some heat, I think, mostly because, I know how they break up the quads. They only have one win against the quad one team. But I think they're still to get in the tournament based on their brand value, based on a lot of things. And I just don't know if they're equipped to make a very deep run.
You know, you wrote an article, it's been almost a week ago, and the headline on it was pressure on DJ at Clemson to still be quarterback. I'll be honest with you, I don't see him. I think you find somebody else as your starting quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, some of these new signees, especially the kid out of Texas, I want to say he's going to be in spring practice.
Well, yeah, they've got a 5-star freshman club deck waiting in the wings, and that's, this is a program where 10 wins was considered a down year.
Yeah.
And that's the level that Clemson's reached now. So I think, if DJ struggles again, I mean, they won't hesitate to make that change. They did it with, they remember, they replaced Kelly Bryant with Trevor Lawrence. They replaced Stout. They replaced him pretty quick with Deshaun Watson. If they've got a guy that's talented enough to take that job, Lanny, they're going to give it to him.
How much effect is it going to have with losing coordinators at Clemson, even though they replaced them from within, if I'm not mistaken, on both sides of the ball?
They did, and again, I said this a couple times this offseason. I think as good as Venables and Elliott are, I think they were past due to go get a head coaching job, number one. And both of them have done that. I think they'll do well, hopefully. Sometimes it's best to get a fresh set of eyes on the offense, and I think Streeter will do all right. And they've got enough talent. I think when it comes down to them, where they need to improve the most, it isn't quarterback or the skill positions, it's the offensive line.
Yeah, and that's been a place that they've had issues for a number of years, Bill, off and on.
For sure. So I think once they get that down and find some guys on the offensive line and get that continuity and get that moving in the right direction, Clemson's going to be just fine.
We're talking with Bill Bender, Sporting News. You did an article that the restart of the USFL. What's different about this one that possibly can make it in spring ball that the other two couldn't?
Well, I think the window they're going to play in April right now. Probably not much different on the field. I mean, when Shea Patterson's the number one pick, you can only get so excited about the players. But the fact that they're going to play in April, which isn't going to interfere with March Madness, isn't going to interfere with the NFL draft. Baseball may not be being played, and I think they can take advantage of that. If the USFL can prove to be a successful minor league type thing, and I know the XFL is going to try to do that as well for the NFL, then the league's going to succeed.
Yeah, but the XFL doesn't start until next season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
23.
I mean, this will be an interesting test case for the league. There's a little bit of a nostalgia factor. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the original USFL and the Michigan Panthers, and, those jerseys are kind of cool. And I think because we always want football on the TV, there'll be a little bit of a thirst for it. I mean, you'll like every other spring league. The ratings will be pretty high that first weekend, and then will they be able to maintain it? That's a big question.
I know I enjoyed watching it before the other XFL and the AAF or the AFA, whatever it was. But It wasn't bad because I looked at it and accepted it for what it was. It was not the NFL. It was not the .1. It was what it was. But one of the things that I like about it, and I hope they continue this, is the NFL really needs a place to kind of, like Major League Baseball does, they need a place to test possible rule changes, possible game changes, and see what it looks like in action. And I want to see them continue that, and there are some things that they've been able to implement. And I want to say there's a closer relationship with the USFL and the NFL than there's with the XFL. Is that correct?
Right now, yeah. So, I mean, again, you said it, though. The key for all of this is to accept it for what it is. You're not going to be watching NFL caliber football. Some of it, a lot of it comes down to, and if I remember these past leagues in recent years, to me, what holds people's interest is the quarterback play has to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. It can't be just god-awful quarterback play, and that's the hard part because that's the hardest position. I mean, I think in that other league, remember, P.J. Walker emerged as a star, and he's stuck with the Panthers.
Yes.
So that's why I like watching it, see who some of these unexpected stars are going to be.
The only thing that's hurting him, and it's not uncommon, he's really pretty slight for a quarterback in the NFL.
Well, yeah, I mean, the size, and you'll always see that. I mean, Shea Patterson, who was the first pick, we just mentioned him, former Michigan and Ole Miss quarterback, he's not a big guy either. So some of those guys that didn't meet the dimensions are going to be the guys that get shots in these leagues as well.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Bill, thank you for your time as always, and look forward to chatting with you next week.
Hey, no problem. Thanks very much.
Yes, sir. That's Bill Bender, and Bill's kind enough to visit with us every week, and love his content. He used to be down here in Charlotte. Now he's up in Ohio. So let me take a time out. We'll come back with more here on the Bottom Line.
Sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times Convenience Stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times Convenience Stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times Convenience Stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Welcome back. Glad to have you here on a rainy Wednesday. A couple of the headlines I'll get into, and I got to buzz out here. I got a meeting at 9 o'clock that I got to get to. Let me run down these basketball scores again. Let's see. Pull those up. Okay, I got them here. First round was last night, round one. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You're going to narrow it down pretty quick. So let me give you these and see if I can get everything pulled up I got here. 2A Women's Playoff. Lincoln Charter over RS Central. They'll take on TW Andrews at home. Newton Conover over Owen. They'll take on Wheatmore at home. North Surrey beat Bunker. Southwestern Randolph beat Bandies. And then in the 3A Women's Playoff, it was Ashbrook over Fred T. Ford, East Lincoln over West Henderson, Hickory over Inca. Inca will play West Rowan. Hickory will play West Rowan. It was Ashe County over St. Stephen's, and then in the 4A was Lake Norman over Cox Mill. 1A men's action. Cherryville was really the only local team. They were defeated by Swain County. And in the 2A, it was Hendersonville over Lincolnton, Walkertown over Maiden, Lincoln Charter over West Stanley. So Lincoln Charter, the only 2A member that's still in playoff action. In the 3A, Hickory over East Henderson. They'll take on North Iredell at home on Thursday. It was North Lincoln over Ashborough, not Ashbrook, but Ashborough. They'll be at Freedom up in Morganton on Thursday. East Lincoln defeated West Rowan. They'll be at Inca on Thursday. And it was St. Stephen's over Parkwood. That's kind of an upset. That's a 23-10. They'll be at Franklin. So some travel there with Inca and Franklin. And then let's see what else we had. Had a few comments come in. Let me give you those. Richie said that he saw where the XFL and the NFL are signing a contract to work together with rules and equipment. I think that's in the best interest of anybody that wants to do spring football. Rich said that Kay had a joke the other day. He told the AC that the future reference should not be scheduled 4 games in 8 days. He chuckled and said the ACC come back and you don't have a future. Is the USFL taking place of Spring League? Kind of the same thing. NFL, they're all working on partnership, officials, rules, equipment, everything. Anytime you can put stuff to the test at game level, even though it's not NFL game level speed, it's still a good thing to get out there and do. So I think that's important as well. See if there's any other headlines that we've missed. Nothing that I can see. We covered everything about Coach K. Of course, the NBA, the mock draft is going on, and you can see that the NBA is the NBA. I just don't get involved with the NBA until we get closer to playoff time. I can't follow it, don't like it. Too many players play and don't play and all those kind of things. So not one of those things that I follow intensely till it gets just a little bit closer. Inside the NFL, I don't see any headlines we haven't already talked about. This is something that may have an effect, but lawmakers have introduced a bill to eliminate subsidies for pro stadium construction, citing in part the Washington Commanders probe. Now, what has happened? This is federal, okay? There's a bill introduced in Congress aimed at eliminating subsidies for professional stadiums. In a news release, Representative Jackie Spear from California, member of the House Oversight Committee, referred to the sexual harassment allegations surrounding the Washington organization, including owner Dan Snyder. Those have never gotten addressed, folks. They've kind of been swept under the rug. They punish who they want to, and they don't with the others, as well as the league's response to the initial investigation as a primary support for the support of the bill. They don't want to see public monies go into private enterprise if they're not going to be under public scrutiny. And that's basically what it boils down to. This is what was said. The NFL has proven once again that it can't play by the rules. As such, taxpayer-subsidized municipal bonds should no longer be a reward for the Washington Commanders and other teams that continue to operate workplaces that are dens of sexual harassment and sexual abuse. It doesn't make economic sense and is particularly galling given the league's long-standing failure to address issues of sexual harassment and sexual assault, as well as ongoing racial and gender discrimination and domestic violence. Go back to the Jerry Richardson thing. I don't think the allegations against him was anywhere close to what's been alleged against the Washington organization. But yet, he was pushed out pretty quickly, and that went away. Had to sell his franchise. According to the release, the bill would eliminate the tax-exempt status of municipal bonds when they're used to finance professional stadiums. That's because the Commanders are seeking to build a new stadium. Their lease on the land for FedEx Field expires after the 2027 season. NFL, through a spokesman, declined to comment. Now, the NFL did announce on Friday that Mary Jo White would lead a new investigation into Snyder after allegations levied by Tiffany Johnson during a congressional roundtable on February 3rd. And I won't get into what she said happened. Here's the thing. It needs to be independent. NFL doesn't need to have anything to do with it. They kind of control that narrative when they do that. And there's not a whole lot of people. Richie's one of them. Blow the whole organization up. Rid of Snyder, find a new owner, new name. And Richardson, basically, I think he didn't feel like he had really done anything wrong, and he said, I'm going to take my ball and go home. So that's kind of where things are. I don't know if it's right or if it's wrong. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that that's kind of what's going on right now. That's going to wrap it up. I got to get to a meeting. Have a great day. Fort Rembert will be back with me again in the morning. As far as I know, the professor will be here Friday morning, and we'll do it all over again. Have a great day. Any breaking stories or anything, I'll try to get them to you and kind of give you the take on them. Have a great day. Be safe. Still a lot of rain coming down. I'll see you tomorrow.